Perdão. Só para avisar.
Got it.
Hello! Hey,
Hello,
Luis,
how
how
are
are you
you?
doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm very good. People, we are here with Luis Fernando, and he's going to introduce himself right now.
All right, my name is Luis. I'm a friends with Mateus. I've never been a student, but we've been friends for a long time. And I'm currently living in Halifax, here in Nova Scotia, east side of Canada. And yeah, I'm tonight's guest, I guess.
Yeah, he has lots of stories to talk to us about.
Yes, some we can share,
Where?
some we can't.
Yeah. Let's focus on the ones that we can. All right.
Okay.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from Sao Paulo, and I moved when I was younger to Recife, and lived in Recife for a long, long time. So I'm half Paulista, half Pernambucano, and
Yeah.
also lived in Salvador for a while. Lived in Rio, and lived in Angola
Lived
for
in
a year.
Angola, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
lived in Angola for a year, and here in Canada, I lived close to Winnipeg. Also for a year as an exchange student, super small town called Killarney. That was
Okay.
2010. And I was like grade 12 high school student. And eventually I moved to Vancouver, started college up there, never finished there. And recently I moved to Prince Edward Island, just like 4 hours away from
All
here.
right. Hold on. We're gonna
Okay,
we're
okay,
gonna
okay.
get there. We're gonna get there. Don't
Yeah, so,
don't hush. Don't hush. All right.
sure. All right.
But let's start in the beginning of it all. Why
Yeah,
did you
my parents,
decide?
they got together and just kidding.
Okay. Why did you decide to go to Canada? Why did you decide to move to Canada?
All right. The first time, like I said, was 2010. I had no
Okay.
idea of Canada was, to be honest. It was we didn't have much information back then. It was not so easy as it is today for like to Google stuff and find some information. And
Yeah.
Canada, I guess, it wasn't just that hype. Like over the
Hmm.
years, it just became like a super popular destination for students, people trying to just like immigrate and come to work. So I went to a one of those like school fairs, and I think it was called the Du Canada there in Recife. I found a high school that was willing to take me, and
Okay.
I just like I always wanted to like live and study abroad, so I found that exchange program, and just came for the first time. Like I said, not a whole lot of information, but I loved it. It was cold and great, and
Yeah.
as after the first time that I moved here, it's like I figured that I would always come back. Like I always wanted to come back.
To sum up, the only place he found that would take him was Canada.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And it's I don't even have my residency, so it's not 100% yet.
It's not 100% yet. So you decided, all right, I've been to Canada before. I lived there. I like the place, so I want to move there and
Yeah,
start a new life there.
that was kind of how it happened, and like I said, I really liked the country. Like I just like a bunch of things that we're gonna get into like in more details like in a while, but yeah, the country itself, it's really nice. I like the people. It's beautiful, like a lot of nature, and yeah, it's pretty good place.
All right. How was the immigration process for it all? Like
It was
when you sat down with Natalia, with your wife, and you said, "All right, we're gonna move to Canada.
yeah,
What do
that
we have to
was
do?"
yeah, that's always like a big decision, and like I usually rush into big decisions. It turns out that it works out, but it
Yeah.
wasn't very thought out, to be honest. Like I'm not a very good planner in terms of what I had to do, like in terms of saving money and all the documents. Like I was everything was a little rushed. Whenever we were getting our documents, we applied a little later than we should have, but everything worked out. But It wasn't super organized, which I highly do not recommend. Just do the opposite of what I did. Plan ahead, just save money, and like actually do a lot of research of what you can do and like
Okay.
the options that you have, because there are a lot of options. There's like different ways that you can get into Canada. My option was to come here, finish college. Like I said, I never finished in Vancouver, so I figured I would move to PEI and finish my marketing college here. And it was rushed, and but it's like it worked out okay. But I always had like the support for. I used an agency, which are
Me
they're
too.
great. Kind of, yeah, it's a little mission there. Canada Destino. They're like an agency based in São Paulo. They always help me, like all the times that I traveled here. And I need one
Okay.
agency. Like I'm not one of those persons that would just read the immigration website. And I know I should have, but
Yeah.
I just need I just need someone to like feed me the information that I need, because there are a lot of details, and like this, like you probably know the process better than I do. And
Yeah.
and it's just like there's a lot of options, like I said, and there's a lot of details that you can actually go into. And if you actually take the time to read the website, you're going to find everything you need. So some people, like I see some people complaining about the agencies. They're like, oh, they're charging us a lot of money. But then, hey, you're like, if you're looking for an agency, you're looking for convenience, because all the information you need is actually in the website for the government, like the official website. So if you put a little effort into it, you can definitely learn a lot, and you probably wouldn't need anyone to help you with.
Yeah. He mentioned PEI, which is Prince Edward Island. It's a
Yeah,
province in Canada. Not many people know about it,
yeah,
but if you know Anne of Green Gables, if you watched
yeah,
Anne with an
exactly.
E, yeah, in Netflix, it's very
Yeah,
the
it got
books are
super
based
famous.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it got super famous right before we traveled here. Actually, my dad was the one that told me. To be honest, I never watched it. Natalia did. I
Yeah,
never watched it. It seemed
me neither.
like a soap opera from 6 o'clock at Global. So
Yes.
I never
Yes.
watched it. But
I've never
the
seen
book is
it,
really
but
famous. Yeah, the book is really famous here, and like the province, like the city and everything, just like has that like very strong. It's like a very strong for tourists, and they have like the house where the writer grew up in and all that stuff. So it is a cool place to visit, especially
yeah.
if you watch the show. Yeah, for sure.
But why the heck did you choose PEI for a place to live?
So cheap.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it makes sense.
the college, like in Canada, like the prices change up a bit, and it wasn't my first
Okay.
choice. My first choice, like I said, I live in a couple of places, and the first time that I was here, I actually got to visit like most of the cities,
Mm-hmm.
like the major ones, at least, like Montreal, Toronto, Calgary. And
Okay.
I just like my first option. Natalia always wanted to go to Ottawa. I, for no particular reason. She just liked the photos and the videos, and it seemed like a
Yeah.
good place for her. And then we like whenever we were doing the research for college, I found one in London, in Ontario, which is like a very hype city right now too. There's a lot going on. It's great if you're looking for like a job right out of college. You apparently have a lot of opportunities there, and that was my first choice, especially because of the college and all the jobs that they say that you would find there, like maybe not easier, but like more opportunities, I guess. And whenever we were talking to the agency, they just recommended PEI. They're like, well, if you're looking to immigrate, it's a very good choice. Like it's easier to get in through their local immigration program. And
Uh-huh.
it seemed like a good choice. The college, I was looking for a marketing college. They had the course there, so that was a big thing. And the island, it seemed beautiful, and it actually is. Like the island is really pretty. You have a lot of different uh, places that you can go to. Like it's a small place, but it's really nice, especially in the summer. So like all in all, it seemed like a great place. So we just decided to choose PEI.
All right. And for people who are thinking about immigrating, you said that you didn't do much planning, you didn't save up a lot. How much money exactly did you bring there? Do you remember?
Uh, I probably do remember.
To start life in Canada.
It was bad. Yeah. Like, it was like, and that's the thing, like, too, it can be done. As soon as we got here, we both got jobs. But at the time, I think that we brought over close to $5,000. That was it.
Not much.
No, it was very little. Like whoever you talk to is gonna tell you at least like 20, 25, like starting with this. And it was just a crazy, ridiculous idea that it turned out to work out. The thing is to like the thing that you have to have in mind for whoever is like thinking about coming here, just put the money for the college aside. Do not put that into your calculations of how much you're saving. That is the one thing that you have to have 100%. So just put the money to the college aside, and whatever else it's gonna like, and it changes too. Like if it changes according to your lifestyle, how much you want to spend when you get here, the things you're willing to sacrifice. If you're willing to maybe like just get an apartment not so close to downtown, it could be like a smaller place, or like there's a lot of variables that come into place, and when it comes to like how much you need when you get here. And honestly, if you get here and if you get a job, like as soon as you get here, like you don't have much to worry about. Like usually, like in my case, that was way better because I had like Natalia working too, and so it just made things a lot easier. But if you're on your own and you only making like a part-time, because if you come on your own and you're like studying, you will only be able to work part-time, then I would definitely recommend saving up more than I did, like because it's you're probably going to need like to dip into your savings at some point.
Okay. Those 5,000 you mentioned, was that with the college money or without the college money?
Oh no, that was apart from college money. So college money was safe and stored. Like college money is probably going to be around like on average a little over maybe $15,000. PI a little bit cheaper, close to that, but like usually for like all the major cities, like the courses that you're going to find are going to be close to like 16, 17, 20. And so like once you have that money put on like aside, like, and don't think that you can just come here with half that money and then work to make that while you're here. It's not going to happen. It's all the money that you make here, you're going to have to like spend to live here. So some people think that, oh, it's fine, I'll just save up half of the money whenever I get there. I started working and I've got my 40 hours a week and I'll just save I'll save the money. I'm good with saving money, so I'll just do it when I get there. It's not that easy. So, but once you have that college money aside, we're living proof that it can be done with not a whole lot of money. Yeah. Which is good because some people think that's
what most people want to hear. Like, okay.
Yeah. Some people think that you need a whole lot of money, but sometimes you don't. Yeah. You gotta work when you get here, or else.
Yeah. So if you're really thinking about moving to Canada, here's living proof that you don't need lots of money. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. You just need to be.
It can be done. It can be done. It's not a very smart decision sometimes, but it can be done. I would highly recommend saving the money, but if you don't have any other options, and I know some people just really want to move and don't have a lot of money saved up and don't have a lot of time to save that money up, just like it can be done. Yeah.
So you got on the plane here in Recife and you went. Do you remember the trip? How was it?
Oh yeah, it was long, and yeah, it was a long. It was kind of like a marathon because we left Recife, then we flew down to São Paulo. We got there, we had to wait
Okay.
the whole day to get the flight overnight, and then we
All
flew
right.
into Toronto. So that's like a 10-11 hour flight maybe. So we got in Toronto at like around 5 in the morning, and our flight to PI was going to be 10 at night. So we
Wow.
had the whole day in the city. We figured we could go just like in just see the city for a little bit and then come back to the airport, which we did. But it's like whenever you get back, you're just dead tired. Um, and whenever we got back to the airport, our flight was
But
delayed.
could you see? Let me just hold up a second. Could you check Toronto out?
Yeah,
That window
we
of time.
actually we it's super easy to move around in Toronto. Whenever you
Okay.
get off the airport, you can get like a train in right into downtown, and like you don't have like a whole lot to see, like a whole lot of time to, but you can definitely go in downtown and see like the main things, like the big name Toronto, and like
Hmm.
Dundas Square, like the main attractions there. You can even go up
Okay.
to the CN Tower if you like. You have the aquarium. Everything's super like close by. So
Good.
if you have like a couple of hours, you can like actually see quite a bit downtown Toronto, and then just take the train back to the airport. And especially if your
Okay.
flight is delayed when you get there, you have plenty of time.
All right. So then
Yeah.
you got the plane, got in the plane, and
Oh,
went to Charlottetown, right?
yeah. We got the plane. We got into Charlottetown. We got in Charlottetown. Like the flight got delayed, so it was like it's probably like a 2.5 hour flight if I'm not mistaken. Maybe three.
Okay.
And we got into Charlottetown. That was a whole thing too, because Charlottetown is super small, super small. And whenever we were flying in, Natalia obviously told me to do something, and I didn't. And we got there thinking that we would have like a lot of taxis and Uber that you can just like ride from the airport to the city, but it they don't. They had like I think like two taxis available. So people were that was awesome because we got in at night. It was September and it
Hey,
was not
that's
very cold.
interesting.
It was not very cold, but whenever you're moving from Recife to Canada, 15 degrees, it's very, very cold. And we got there, it was chilly, it was windy, and there were no taxis. So obviously Natalia was pissed because that's something that she told me to look up. She's like, "Oh, we probably won't have any taxis when we get there. Like we should like make a reservation for like a car or something because there won't be any taxis." It was like, "Oh, it's an airport. We're gonna have taxis just waiting, like standing by. We're gonna have Ubers." And she's like, "Can you just check?" I was like, "Fine."
That's
Like what?
why
Like
planning is
what?
so important, guys.
Yeah. And she was like, because she told me like, and I was like, it's an airport. Like obviously they're gonna have taxis there. So when we got there, we had to wait in line to share a taxi into the city, and that is like what after nearly 48 hours that you left home, so you're exhausted, you're hungry, you just want to take a shower, you just want to get to the hotel, and we had a reservation for like one of those HI hostels, and
Okay.
we got into the city. We already had the apartment lined up, but it didn't have any power, so like the lights were
Okay,
off.
okay, wait a second. When you
Oh, it was
left
a
Brazil, you already had the apartment lined
Yeah,
up.
we got very,
Okay.
very lucky. We found
Huh.
some people on Instagram. They were from Fortaleza, and
All right.
they actually checked out an apartment for us. They talked to the landlord, did the whole thing. We transferred them the money, and we rented the place like 15 days before getting here. And
Maybe not the smartest thing.
now again, don't do that, guys. It's kind of
Yeah.
not super safe. We had no idea who
Yeah.
they were, and we just wired them.
Okay, if you're
Uh,
saving money to travel and move to another country, don't trust the first person you see online asking
yeah,
you to transfer money to them.
every trip, every tip that I have for taking a trip to Canada, you just do the opposite. You plan,
Yes.
you save money, and you
Yeah.
checked and see if they have taxis in the airport, and you do not
Yeah.
transfer money to strangers. That is
But okay,
highly don't recommend.
obviously, Luis is very, very, very lucky, and he got his apartment when he
Yeah.
arrived.
Yeah, the couple from Fortaleza, they're still our friends, so they're good people. They did
Okay,
not steal my
they're
money.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
but yeah, so we got in. There was no power in the apartment. We knew that coming in, so we had the first night in the hostel because we figured we're just gonna leave all our stuff in the apartment. Just like open the door, leave all the bags, everything. We had like a change of clothes and a backpack. So we would spend the night in the hostel, and then the next morning we would go into the apartment. We got
Mhm.
into the hostel. The hostel was locked. There was no one there. It was fucked. And there was no one there. We knocked on the door. There was like 2 in the morning. Natalia is about to kill me at this point. Uh,
Wow.
we had zero data on our phones, like because we didn't get like the SIM card
Yeah,
like before.
I remember when you arrived there. I remember seeing some Instagram story
Yeah, I
of
have the
you saying
stories.
that.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know the whole story like this, but
If it's if you're gonna edit this, like I can actually send you the stories. Like we were just walking around in the middle of the city, freezing,
yeah.
and like trying to find a hotel, and it was bad because we could not find any hotels. And we found one like after walking for like 10 or 15 minutes. They were sold out, like not sold out. They're like they were out of rooms. So we called another
Hot
one.
boat.
Yeah, and we called another one. We went to this other place. By the time we get there, it's like around 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and they were charging like what, $300. It was one of the fanciest hotels in the city, and they were charging like
Okay.
I think like $300 for the night. And
Wow.
at this point, we were like, oh, you know what? Just screw it. We got to do it because we have like nowhere to go. It's either this after 48 hours of airports and everything, because we actually asked one of the guys, like the guy in the front in the lobby of the hotel, because like whenever he said it was $300, like, oh, we're not gonna do this. And he was like, oh, you can just go into UPI, which is the university there, and just sleep in the lobby. I was like, no, I'm not. It's there's no way we're gonna, like, what do you mean the lobby? And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, they have a couple of couches. You can just walk in. And that again, not knowing the city, just plan ahead, guys. Plan ahead.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
But just a question here. Have you paid the hostel before
Yeah, we
at
paid
that
in
point?
advance. We had to get the money back. It was
Was it
it
an
was
easy deal?
it kind of was. It wasn't so bad. Like we just called the next morning, explained what happened. I don't know why I think they were supposed to give us a password of some sort, and the thing. Okay, that's I just remember that we left the hostel like after trying to get in, and we just like crossed the street, and there was like this house, and it like had like this little sign for like a bed and breakfast kind of thing.
Okay.
So I just knocked and I rang the doorbell. The lady that answered, she was obviously sleeping. It's 2:30 in the morning. She opened the door. She's like, "What the hell are you doing here? Who are you?" I was like, "I saw the sign. I think it's like I thought you guys were like a overnight stay kind of thing." And she's like, "We are, but at normal hours. We're fully booked too. So just get out of here. You don't knock on people's door at 2 in the morning." I was like, "Okay, fair. I'm so sorry, lady."
Really?
Not, yeah, I was. It just kicked me out from there.
Yeah. So okay, you paid. You hello. You paid. Natalia's here filming, taking
Hi, Natalia.
photos, something.
Hi, Natalia.
Okay.
I talked to her on the Instagram the other day.
Yeah. uh, okay,
Okay, where did
so
I go? I'm back.
I can only see a picture. All right.
Back there.
Okay, so you paid the $300. You had a very good night of sleep.
Oh, it was perfect. The room was
Yeah,
insane. It was crazy good. The breakfast was amazing. Not worth the
of
$300,
course.
but
But if
I
you're
rather.
paying $300 a night, it better be hacking good.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
Okay, so next morning, you've went to the apartment? Was everything you imagined, or?
No. The apartment was it was filthy. It was just like we talked to the owner before getting there, and it was supposed to be clean before, like every decent rental that you probably would have. But it's sometimes, and I had that experience before in Vancouver. Sometimes they just give you the apartment the way they think it's okay to give you the apartment, and it's dirty, and it's like I said, there was no power. So there's a couple of things that whenever you're renting here, you have to pay attention to. Just make sure everything is going to be plugged in and turned on. Like we had to call in and make the arrangements for the power and the apartment too itself. Whenever you try to get, if you're like probably just find like a random landlord like we did, you're probably going to have some issues in terms of some things to get fixed in the apartment and all. Like it's small stuff, but you're probably going to have a couple of things that you need to get done in the place. So it's really good if you can actually have someone go and check out the place before.
Okay.
Because even like the friends went to check the place and we still had problems. So
yeah, of course, it's not you checking the place.
yeah,
That's being very honest. That's something I wouldn't do. Renting a place without being there to see the place.
Yeah, and the thing was, it kind of freaked us out. It was super hard to find a place. It was like we were getting desperate. By the way, we posted an ad in one of the websites that they told us to that it was like one of the best ones to find apartments, Kijiji. And they actually told us, hey, if you post one ad for yourself and your wife, just saying, hey, we're a couple, we're going to be a student, don't party, we're super quiet, we don't have any dogs, we don't smoke inside the apartment, all that stuff. Some people probably reached out to you and offer you like some apartments. From what we got from that experience, it was terrible advice for whoever gave it to us, because we only got messages of people trying to scam us. Just, hey, send us the money, and I'll leave the key with a friend. It's usually some crazy story like, hey, I have the place, but I had to move to Dubai because I got a job offer and now I still have the lease. So if you can wire me half the money and I'll give you the keys. So it was really, really hard to find something. So whenever we did, and the couple that we did not know from Instagram went to check it out, we were like, okay, that's we have to take it, because it was either that or maybe staying like the first month in a hotel or like an Airbnb, which is what a lot of people do, which is very, very reasonable. If you think about it, that would be my advice. Just like find an Airbnb for like a month. Obviously you're going to spend a little bit more, but just put that into the cost that you have, and do it that way. It's definitely better.
I really think the title of this podcast episode will be "Everything You Shouldn't Do When Moving to Canada."
It's a fairly accurate title. I would say that. Yeah, not clickbait exactly. Yeah.
Not a clickbait. Okay. How much? What exactly did you have to pay to move in? Like, did you have to do a down payment?
What they usually do here, they have like a safe deposit. It would be half the rent. So half the rent up front, and whenever you leave the apartment, they're supposed to give that money back to you. So that money is just just half the first rent usually. Yeah.
Cool.
And whenever you move out, if you don't break anything, if you don't like tear down the apartment, you get your money back.
Cool. And did you have to pay anything to turn on power and water?
Yeah, a couple of small fees, like $20 to get the power started. And it's like it was a really good service too. Like we called in one day and they were there like I think later the same day. It was super simple to get things started. I'm not sure if it's like that everywhere, but at least in PI it was super easy.
Mm-hmm. All right. And how was the experience in Charlottetown? Did you like living there?
It's kind of weird, Charlottetown. I was just in Charlottetown this weekend. I spent Friday and Saturday there and just came back to Halifax, and I was just thinking about it because Charlottetown, it's a very charming place. It's very nice, but you have to have uh, you have to know that you're going to be there, and it's a different lifestyle. It's super quiet. It's a small town. You don't have a lot of options in terms of entertainment, especially in the winter, and you just have to know that it's going to be like that, like probably like very different from our lifestyle back in Brazil, especially because most of us would come from like big cities, and it's like it's a big change. So I liked it at first, like a lot. I thought it was like super charming and quiet, and it was really nice in that way. Like you can just walk around. People are super nice on the streets. Uh, they walk past you on the street, they're probably going to be smiling, waving, saying, "Hey, how are you?" Which is really nice. You get that small city vibe, and it's just people are so friendly, and it's just so different. Like from you walking into your elevator in Recife or São Paulo, and people not saying good morning. So a
Not
stranger
saying
walking,
anything,
not saying
actually.
anything, and people just like walking past you on the street and just like giving you a smile. It kind of throws you off at first, but it's a really good vibe. But then for me, it was just too small. I like a little bit of a bigger city, and because it's like they don't have any buildings, so you don't even have that big city vibes. It's just it's kind of like a summer town, and which kind of is because that's how they make most of their money throughout the year. They have a lot of cruise ships that come in, so it's really good if you're working in the hospitality business of things, and just like restaurants and hotels and all that, because they do have a lot of I think usually in the summer you usually get like two cruise ships like a week, that kind of thing. So it's like it's very vibrant, and the city just changes completely. And the bad thing is that we never got to experience that because COVID happened as soon as we got there. Like we got there in September 19th, so like March 2020, I think was the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
So everything shut down, and like it was really good to be in the island at this time too, because they were able to to control the borders and shut down everything. So I think throughout COVID, we did not have like past like 400 cases, like in general, like throughout the whole thing. It was like
Mhm.
it was very safe in that way, and
It's
but at
easier
the
to
same
control if you're in an island, right?
yeah, and people were very respectful too of the rules and everything. And they had like a big lockdown in the beginning. Like the mall, all the stores, they only had like the supermarkets open with all those restrictions and everything. So it was good in that way because we felt super safe. For we didn't feel like we were exposed in any way to like all the things that we were like watching on TV. But
Yeah.
like at the same time, that just made the city uh, super boring in a way, because it was like the city was already quiet, and then all the bars were shut down. So we kind of felt like being trapped, because you got that feeling whenever the lockdown and everything that we've been through. So I don't know if I had like a more of a regular stay in my first couple of months, if my
Yeah.
opinion would be a little bit different. But then I decided to move to Halifax, and I just kind of did the way that we're not supposed to do things, not planning again.
So you decided to move out of boredom,
Yeah,
basically.
kind of. Yeah, it was. And don't get me wrong, Natalia loved PI. She loved Charlottetown. Um, but for me, it was just And it also depends a lot on if you're coming with your family, if you're coming with your kids. It also it depends a lot on what you're going to be studying. Like in my case for marketing, I just felt at the end of throughout getting close to half the course, towards the end, that I wouldn't have that many opportunities. And just from Googling, Halifax seemed to be the place to be. And it was the easiest move that we could possibly make, just a 4-hour drive. So we just rented one of those U-Haul trucks and just moved. So it was if not for Halifax, we actually looked into maybe going to other cities, but very briefly. And then we came to visit that couple of friends that did not steal my money, and they moved to Halifax before us. So whenever we came to visit, I absolutely fell in love with the city. We came during the summer. The city was amazing. And I was like, okay, I have to live here. I have to move here. And I did 6 months later with absolutely zero planning again. And again, it was rough because obviously you have zero control of the situation, but it's turning out to be a good choice.
Are you still in college right now?
No, I'm done. I finished in May. Thank God.
Okay.
It was.
So before you moved to Halifax, you were done with college.
No, see, that's the thing. I was. Don't do this, guys. I was.
Yeah, everything you shouldn't do moving to Canada.
Don't do this. Yeah, I should have waited. In theory, okay, the plan was move to PI, and then before getting here, the plan was move to PI, finish college, get the residency, and then figure it out afterwards. After we had the document and the papers, but bunch of things happened. COVID happened. I got bored super easily with the city. I felt like I didn't have a lot of opportunities there, and because of COVID, college just they decided to finish it online. So that was another thing too that it was bad for my experience in Charlottetown, is that I didn't get to experience college that much because I got here in September and I finished my first term in January after Christmas break. And whenever we started again, we started for 2 months, a month and a half, and we had to shut down. So it just became online, and it was out of nowhere. So the college wasn't ready to have the online classes. They were just learning and trying to figure it out. So it was I didn't have that college experience at all, because I had it for 3 months and then everything just became an online course. So and then at the same time, whenever it became online, I was like, you know what, this is my chance to move to Halifax a little bit before than I was expecting, because I was thinking about coming in June, because I was going to graduate in May, move here in June. And I was supposed to move here last month. And then I just decided to do it in January 1st. We had New Year's Eve. January 1st, I woke up, got the things in the truck, and moved with zero jobs, zero. I used to work at Best Buy there. I tried to get transferred. I couldn't. And whenever I got here, I just started doing some deliveries for kind of iFood in Brazil. So it's DoorDash here, and just try to find some whatever kind of jobs that I could find. And again, just working, and again, it worked out. Yeah.
And how easy was it to find a job there?
It was harder than I anticipated, for sure. It was in my mind, that's probably why I do things without planning so much.
You got the first job in Charlottetown pretty easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. My wife actually got it in the first week that we were there, and I got it the week after, or 2 weeks later. So it was easy in Charlottetown for for us, which is great because like a small city doesn't have that many opportunities. And whenever I got here to Halifax, I think I did deliveries for like a month, and then I ended up getting a job. So it worked out. But like now it's way better. Like I see like the job ads and everything I still get like the emails, and there's a lot of more stuff now than when we moved here. Everything like it was in the middle of the lockdown. It was the worst timing possible, I guess, and it was a challenge, but it was it was again terrible timing, zero planning. I just found an apartment. Again, Natalia advised me against doing that. So when I came, like she had her job there, so
When
she
are
had
you
to.
going? When are you going to start listening to Natalia?
Probably not for a while because everything's working
Because
out. So like, yeah, it's fine.
she advised you in all right ways, and you done it completely differently.
Yeah, and I moved in January 1st, and she stayed there for like an extra month because she was responsible and got like a proper transfer from her job. So
Okay.
I spent like the first month by myself here in Halifax with, and like all the furniture stayed with her in our old place there at the time. The only thing that I brought with me was, I believe, uh, I, I don't know, like a couple of pans and like some kitchen stuff. And whenever I got here, I bought 4 chairs because I found some really good deals on Facebook Marketplace, and instead of buying what I needed, I bought 4 chairs. So I have
You have zero planning skills. That's what you
yeah,
have.
0. And but I got some really nice chairs.
Yeah, of course. Uh, Luis, how different is it uh, from Brazil living there?
It's very, it's very, very different. Starting with the weather, and I don't think it's bad. I think it's something that you can easily get used to it. Like I honestly think that our body changes super fast, faster than you can possibly imagine, and sometimes you don't even feel it. Like I said, the first night that we moved, I remember it was like 13 or 15 degrees. That is Celsius. They use the same here. It's not like the States produce Fahrenheit. So we got here and it was like 13, 15 plus 13, 15. And it was freezing. We were like, okay, that is terrible. We have to get out of the streets because it's super cold. But then after like a winter and a half, you're going to notice that it's the summer starting to come up, like whenever it's like close to May again and the weather starts to get a little bit warmer, and you find yourself wanting to go to the beach whenever it's plus 15. So that's
That's
like,
something that really happens. That
yeah,
I
it's
felt that when I lived in Minnesota, I felt the same thing. And
yeah,
our
and you don't
body,
have to try
it
hard for that. It's
adapts
just gonna happen.
fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, and we adapt fast. I
super
remember
fast.
that I think even today here in Recife, I can't stand a 17
Yeah, and
Celsius here.
it's the
And
same.
when
It's
I lived
crazy.
there, it was like 2 degrees, two negative, and I was wearing a simple shirt to play soccer outside. So
Yeah, the body
it's
actually adapts. So for people that think like, oh, I don't know about Canada because it gets super cold in the winter. Like, I mean, yeah, it does get cold. I'm not saying it's not cold, and it's you're gonna feel cold anyways, but it's you're gonna get used to it, and especially like in cities like Montreal and Toronto, like the cities are super ready for the winter,
yeah.
so it just makes that more easy. Like the worst place for that I've been here that is actually super super, and if it actually bothered me a little bit, it was close to Winnipeg. But then at the time I got like I actually got like -40, -50 in some like extreme
Wow.
days, and then that is bad. But whenever you see like, oh, minus 15, minus 20, trust me, you're gonna get used to that. It's you're not gonna have to try hard to that. Like whenever you notice, you're gonna be fine. And other than the weather, the cities, like the infrastructure, are really good in general, especially in the bigger ones like Vancouver, Toronto. They're super well thought out. Canada is a very new country in terms, like whenever you compare to some other places. So what they did was just like take some good examples of whatever was working for some cities in Europe and just like apply here. And who knew? But yeah, it worked out great. You get good examples. You actually you get a good thing. And in terms of culture, I hear people saying sometimes that Canadians are very they're not warm as we are, and obviously I guess the Brazilians and South Americans in general would be more affectionate and actually show that. But I don't think that Canadians are cold as people. They're just like super respectful of your space, and they get that idea of society that you have to be you have to respect the space of others. Like, so they will do their best not to bother you in any situation. So that's why, and that's a joke. Like for whoever watched How I Met Your Mother has probably seen that a lot. Like Barney say, no, it's people say sorry all the time, and like the scenes where they go to Canada and people just like say sorry all the time. It is actually kind of like that, because they actually worry about your personal space, if they're going to be interfering with you. So they're very considerate of your of you in general, and which that is one of the things that I like the most here. It's just that general knowledge that you live with a bunch of other people and you cannot interfere. If it's out of your limit there, then it's just no good. And I think that, to me, that's the one thing that I feel the most when you move here, because people are going to say, oh, yeah, it's very safe, blah, blah, blah. But that's something that happens so naturally when you get here. You start, I would say, like, in a week, you completely have your guards down. Doesn't matter where you used to live before. You're not going to be worrying about your phone. You're not going to be worrying about anything of yours. And that is because like it's just natural, like to feel safe. That's our natural state. We don't have to be in alert all the time. So that's something that it's gonna be fine whenever we get here. But that other that other aspect of the culture of being respectful of others is, to me, is probably one of the best things here.
All right. If weather is not a problem, what is a problem living there?
Problem over here. You miss everything. You miss your family. You miss your friends. You miss the bad beer you used to drink. You miss everything. And don't think that for a second that's going to change. You won't. You're still going to miss, like, it's just going to be different. I think COVID actually happened with that for me specifically because whenever we got here, we had the plan of going back to visit after like a year or so. So like the first 3 months, you're super excited. Everything's new. You don't miss anything. You're just like super hyped about the new place. You go to the supermarket and you love the new candy bars that you see there. All the like those small things you think are amazing. And then after the past that 3-month mark, then you start to like, okay, that's fine, but I want to, all right, when do I get to see my friends and my family again? And just like the routine, you maybe miss that too. So being forced to stay here for like an extra, like in the next month, it's going to be like 2 years that I moved. And it was something that it was not planned to stay here that long. And it's easier today too, right? You have all the technology. You can actually talk to people like FaceTime. We did that a couple of times. It actually helps, but you're never going to
Yeah.
stop missing those things. So you have to be really prepared because you get used to the weather, you get used to the food. There's no such thing anymore as, oh, I miss Guarana. Yeah, you can find Guarana now. Like it's globalized world. Like you're going to find whatever you want except
Yeah.
Catupiry. If you're watching this and you know how to send me Catupiry, just do it. I can't find it here.
All
And
right, so we need to sell some
it's
catupiry in Canada.
then you're gonna and I miss that a lot. And it's just it's hard. You have to be prepared. You have to know that you're gonna have some shitty days. And that's coming from me, which I'm a person that I absolutely love Canada. I'm probably one of the biggest fans of Canada. I will always see good stuff about it. I do feel at home here, but
Yeah.
that other side is never going to go away. Like you're still it's still not 100% home, and you have to know that. You have to be prepared because it will pass eventually. You can have like a shitty day, you can have like a shitty week, but then eventually it's gonna pass, and you just have to suck it up sometimes because it's one thing that you cannot change. Like, oh, there's no thing. Oh, just call. It's not going to be the same. You just have to know that you're going to have those bad days. And in the end, like, what's going to determine if you're actually going to stay here, like, longer, if you actually want to like live here with and like do the whole immigration thing, is just like you have to balance it out. Like, see what the pros and the cons are. See if you miss it more, if you like the things here more, if the things that you would like here will compensate for all of that. And for some people won't, and it's fine. Like it's not here. It's not like here. It's better. It's better for some people, and it doesn't work like that for everybody. So whenever I see people coming in here and saying, "Oh yeah, this guy's going back," and people say, "Oh, you're crazy. Toronto is great. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're going back. Like, it's a great city, but doesn't mean that you have to live in a great city. Doesn't mean you're going to want to live in a great city and that you're going to be happy just because the city is great. Like, the city is not going to make that for you. So you have to, you're going to have to find that on your own. And you're only going to know that if it's going to like if it's going to be worthy to you, just like abdicate from everything else if you're actually here. So some people, I see some people moving in like, oh yeah, I definitely want to immigrate. I can't take Brazil anymore. And then they get here after 2 years. They're like, okay, yeah, that's not for me. And just decide to move back.
Yeah. And what would you be your advice to anyone who wants to go up there?
Don't do what I do. Plan ahead. Do a lot of research. Today you have a number of different ways that you can research the country, the city. You can Google, like when I moved to Charlottetown at first, I already knew like kind of the streets because I used to like Google Street View so much, just like walk around the city. So just do that. You're going to get like an idea of things. Watch a lot of videos, just get as much as information as you can, just so you can make like a very informed decision. And plan, just plan ahead. Make sure, have an open mind whenever you're coming here that things are going to be different. People are not going to be the same. It's going to be a different culture. And if you're actually willing to move here, then you might have to play by their rules, which is it has to be fine with you. You're not home anymore. You're like it's their country. It's not yours as much as you want it to be. So just come in with an open mind for and that's another thing too. You're going to see people from all the places here. You're going to see people from Asia. You're going to see people from Europe. You're going to see people from everywhere. Just be aware that you're going to have that big mix of cultures, and just try it. You might like it, you might not, but you're never going to know until you actually get your ass here.
All right. Thank you, Luis. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for helping my
No
students.
Worries. No worries. Anytime. You know, I would do it for you anytime.
Yeah. People, if you got to this point in the video, please leave your like, leave a comment, go to my Instagram, English Camarotti, and help this English teacher that little by little is trying to do the best for his students. All right.
All right.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And final advice: get some classes with teacher Camarotti, because one thing that I didn't say, and it's probably one of the things that we should have said the most throughout the entire podcast, is learn your English. It's gonna be a major,
I should have asked about that.
Yeah, it changes so much. You're gonna get better job opportunities. People are gonna respect you a little bit more because you actually put an effort into it, and they can actually tell that. Even if you're like screwing up at first, just have that effort. You have to try. Don't be ashamed of saying something wrong in the beginning. And you're just put yourself out there and actually learn the language. It's the one thing that you have to do, because it's the way you communicate. It's the way you get around. It's how you're gonna get all your opportunities. If you have a job interview, if you have anything, so learn your English. Even if you don't plan a lot, if you know your English, you're gonna be good.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye. See you later.
See ya.